And now let's take it back to the story regarding Nigerian-born British politician Kemi Badenoch has won the race to become the new leader of the United Kingdom's Conservative Party, pledging to return it to its founding principles and win back voters after its worst election defeat in July. 44-year-old Badenoch came out on top in a two-horse race with former Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick winning 57% of the votes of party members. She received 53,806 votes, while Jenrick got 41,388 votes from the 31,680 eligible electors. The party placed turnout at 72.8%. Badenoch replaces former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and has pledged to lead the party through a period of renewal, saying it had veered towards the political center by governing from the left and must return to its traditional ideas. And for more on this, we're joined by our guest, Msangwa Zoe, who is a broadcaster from London. Good afternoon from here. Glad to have you join me on the news.
Yeah, thank you for having me, brother. Thanks for your to your listeners as well.
I mean, Badenoch has been in politics for the Conservative Party for a while now. Did you see her emerging?
Yes, it was very clear. I think the first thing is that regardless of what party she might be coming from, if you are Yoruba, it is time to celebrate her achievements and achievements of somebody from that community at Adejoke. And also, if you're Nigerian, it is time to celebrate achievements of somebody who identifies with the country. If you're Black, it is time to celebrate. If you're a woman, in general, whatever color or race that you might be, it is also time to celebrate that for a very important country in Europe, a member of the United Nations Security Council, one of the biggest economies in the world, you have as the official opposition, His Majesty's official opposition, which is a very high post indeed politically. You have somebody that you can identify with, whatever her politics, whatever the backgrounds, whatever that might have, made a contribution to her being there. She hasn't been, actually, Bola, she hasn't been in politics in the bigger context for a long time. I mean, she was working in journalism, she left, she was in engineering, she was doing other things, and she then worked for the City Council in London or the Greater London Authority, and then, after Brexit, then she became one of those members of parliament that were pro-Brexit and also to the right of the Conservative Party. So it's been a very fast rise indeed when you look at how long it has taken others to get there.
Well, I know you mentioned she's been in different walks of life for a while, but what do you think contributed to her victory?
I think it is the nature of her politics. She has positioned herself to the right of the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party is already to the right of British politics. So if you then think that somebody of Nigerian descent, somebody who grew up in part in Nigeria and then went back to London on her own as a teenager, she had to learn to live away from the the niceties, everything that the parents would have given her. She had to find her own way. And I think many people that know her very well, I'm quite close to a lot of people around her. They say that time when she left Nigeria as a teenager to live in London on her own, shaped her politics. She believes in business. She believes that people should be given an opportunity or just a ladder and then be allowed to climb the social and economic, heights on their own. So she is to the right of the Tory party. So I would like to think that that's what propelled it for her. And also she was talking about the values, trying to say to the Tory party, they need to rediscover themselves. Who are they? Are they the party that has been losing votes to Nigel Farage and Reform and others further to the right, or are they the party that says they want to be at the center and rule and govern the country?
Let's talk about changes. What changes do you think she's likely to bring, being the leader of the Conservative Party, to make it a party, one people would like to reckon with?
I think the starting point is to realize that the Labour Party, that is the governing party in the UK at the moment, is an overwhelming majority. And the UK has a constitutional change that they did, which means that the government has to be in place for 5 years unless there is a 2/3 majority that vote otherwise. So it is highly unlikely, even if there was a political earthquake, it's very unlikely that the majority Labour MPs would vote to terminate their government to go for elections before before 2029. So it's going to be a long season for her. Whether she gets there or not, no one will know. But I think the first things she has to do is to go back to the grassroots of the Tory party, of the Conservative Party, and say, what do they want to be identified as? What are the values that they want to see? Who should they be portraying themselves as? What's the brand that they want to attach to themselves as they go into 2029? And then from there, what are the policies that can go into their manifesto come 2029? So it's going to be a very long season, but by and large, she has to form a cabinet, what they call the shadow cabinet. It's a requirement. She has to be able to attend all those official, official ceremonies that are there. She has to be there as the official opposition leader. So there are so many things. She has to be able to hold the current government to account. It's going to be a very long season. She will need a lot of luck. Maybe some Yoruba charm. It might be a good thing. But I think by and large, the job that she has before her is huge. There are some people who might say they want to serve in a cabinet. She might have to then find a way of talking to them nicely so she can reunite the party. Those to the left of the Tory party would think that maybe she was not the person that they wanted to see. So she has a lot of people to convince within the party itself, and then within the Tory support base, and then the country. So, and then other people outside, because Britain is a very important, country. When you talk about the war in Ukraine, the relationship that they will have with the Americans once a president is elected next week, and then the relationship with Europe. She was pro-Brexit. So Europe is not kind of, an area that will want to see her come into Brussels. But she's got so much work to do, Bola.
Well, we know to win votes is one thing, but then to retain support is something else. She may have won majority of the vote, but what do you think she needs to do to retain support?
She has to bring the party together. She has to reach out to those people that are to the right, especially one of their competitors in the end, Robert Jenrick. He's been pushing for anti-immigration policies, wanting to remove the United Kingdom from the European Court of Human Rights and other things like that. She has to be able to reach out to his support base, because there are so many people that support him in this position, and then find a midway of engaging those issues that matter to them. She has to reach out to those that are to the left of the party. She has to reach out to people like Rishi Sunak, whom she's taking over from, and then because Rishi Sunak was respected as the chancellor who took Britain out of the trap or economic problems that were brought about by COVID-19 during the pandemic. There's a lot of respect for him. He's very, very young. He could come back one day and still be the leader of the Tory party. But also, she has a lot of these people in business that she wants to reach out to. She needs to be able to keep the media in particular. One of the problems with the current government led by Sir Keir Starmer is that they appear to have lost the newsroom very, very quickly within 100 days of them taking over. She needs to be able to keep that, because if you lose the media, especially in Britain, it's very, very easy for her to lose that opportunity of leading the Tory party into the election in 2029.
Honestly, I wish we had more time to talk about this. I believe we'll still keep in touch with you for more on this. But thank you so much, Tamsanka Zoe, a broadcaster in London. Many thanks indeed for your time.
Thanks for having me.